Another domino has fallen at Aston Villa, and this time it's not on the pitch, it's actually off the pitch. This is some big breaking news coming out right now. It is being reported by multiple Tier 1 journalists that Monchi, our sporting director, has left Aston Villa. The language that is being used does kind of suggest that it was not a surprise to anyone, and we can see that from John Percy's comment here. This is likely due to poor signings, Aston Villa not really rating the players that we've signed, and I'm not too sure if Emery has been keen on them as well. Tanswell and Colomus has also reported on this. So it looks like Monchi will be leaving Aston Villa, leaving Vidagani and Unai Emery, the three front men at Aston Villa Football Club. However, I did mention that the dominoes are starting to fall. If one of these leaves, is there a possibility that those two also leave along with the rest of their team? Yes, I do think this is a possibility, which is why I don't understand people really celebrating Monchi leaving. You have to remember, even though Monchi hasn't signed the best players or the players you want or the big name brand, he has very limited resource and has done what he can. But also this could be nothing to do with Villa and he wants to do a separate project. We do know he was helping out a few Spanish clubs in the summer, and he may have just got a better job off.
In a development that has sent shockwaves through Villa Park, Ramon Monchi Rodriguez Verdejo is set to leave Aston Villa after just over 2 years in the role of President of Football Operations. The Spaniard, who arrived in June 2023 with a reputation as one of Europe's most brilliant football directors, has decided to call time on his Midlands adventure, and the timing couldn't be more dramatic. For Aston Villa, this is not just an administrative departure. It is the end of a chapter in which the club tried to transform itself into a European mainstay with the help of one of football's most respected recruitment masterminds. Monchi's departure comes at a time when results on the pitch have stalled, financial pressures are mounting, and questions are being asked about the club's direction. A quick reminder: who is Monchi? For the uninitiated, Monchi is not just any football executive. This is the man who turned Sevilla into a European powerhouse, discovering hidden gems like Dani Alves, Ivan Rakitic, and Jules Koundé before selling them for huge profits. He's the guy who turned player trading into an art form, with a scouting network so vast it could probably find a future Ballon d'Or winner in a Sunday league. When he arrived at Aston Villa in June 2023, fans were understandably excited. This was a sign that the owners, Nassif Sawiris and Wes Edens, were serious about pushing the club into the upper echelon of English football. Monchi was given the grand title of President of Football Operations. Not just a sporting director, but the man meant to set the entire footballing vision for the club. Why is he leaving? Reports from England paint a picture of growing frustration both inside the boardroom and within Monchi himself. Financial pressures. Villa have had to walk a financial tightrope recently. In July, UEFA fined the club £9.5 million for breaching squad cost ratio rules. That meant Monchi had to get creative in the transfer market, balancing the books while still trying to give Unai Emery a competitive squad. It's a bit like being told to bake a cake but being handed 2 eggs, a lemon, and a packet of crisps. Poor start to the season. This season's form has been dire. After 5 Premier League games, Villa are winless and have scored just once, a statistic that has had fans grumbling and Emery's job security questioned. When results aren't going your way, it becomes much harder to defend the long-term project, and Monchi's plans for gradual improvement have come under fire. Frustration and influence. Insiders claim Monchi began to feel like he had taken Villa as far as he could under current conditions. Big transfer targets were missed, loan deals failed to materialize into permanent signings, and the squad's wage bill became increasingly bloated. For someone used to pulling off clever deals and seeing quick results, this must have been maddening. Personal reasons. Finally, there's the human element. Monchi has always been drawn to Spain, and some reports suggest he is eager to return home. After 2 years of English weather and relentless Premier League pressure, perhaps tapas and sunshine sounded more appealing than another January transfer window in Birmingham. The Monchi era. Hits and misses. Monchi did oversee some key moves that helped Villa become more competitive. His time at Villa Park saw the arrivals of players like Amadou Onana, Doniel Malen, Ian Martson, and Victor Lindelof. These signings raised the squad's profile and gave Emery a more versatile team to work with. Last season, Villa finished 6th and qualified for Europe, a major achievement considering where the club had been just a few years earlier. But there were misses too. Some signings have yet to justify their price tags, others struggled to adapt, and Villa's reliance on loans frustrated fans who wanted to see permanent solutions rather than stopgaps. The club's ambitious spending also meant that financial sustainability rules quickly caught up with them. What this means for Villa. Monchi's exit leaves a vacuum at the top of Villa's football operations. The next few weeks will be crucial as the club looks to find a replacement who can work within tighter financial constraints while still supporting Emery, or whoever is in charge if results don't improve. Recruitment strategy will likely shift, with more emphasis on younger, cheaper players and perhaps a renewed focus on developing academy talent. Whoever steps in will have to steady the ship quickly. Fans are already restless, and the owners have reportedly issued stern warnings about the club's league position. A bit of humor. Because football needs it. You can almost imagine Monchi packing up his office right now. A laptop full of scouting reports, a drawer full of half-signed transfer documents, and perhaps a list of players he swore he could have signed, if only UEFA hadn't ruined it. He might even leave a sticky note for his successor that says, "Good luck. You'll need it." Some Villa fans have already taken to social media with memes of Monchi escaping Villa Park with his legendary scouting database under one arm and a plane ticket to Seville in the other. Others are joking that Aston Villa's new transfer strategy will involve raiding the local Sunday league just to keep costs down. Final thoughts. Monchi's departure is a significant turning point for Aston Villa. His arrival was supposed to signal the start of a new era, and in many ways, it did. Villa improved, qualified for Europe, and began to be taken seriously as a club with ambition. But the combination of financial rules, a poor start to the season, and mounting pressure has brought that era to an abrupt end. For the owners, this is now a test of resilience. Do they double down on Emery and look for a new football director to continue the project, or do they rip it all up and start again? Whatever they decide, Villa fans will be watching closely, and hoping that this latest shake-up doesn't derail their long-term hopes of becoming a permanent fixture in the Premier League's top half. Because as much as Monchi might be leaving with his scouting reports and European flair, Aston Villa's problems aren't packing up and leaving with him. Stay up to date with the latest news, headlines, and highlights about Aston Villa. Subscribe to our channel for exclusive content, and don't forget to like and share with fellow villains. Join our community today and get the most out of your Aston Villa experience. Hit the notification bell to stay notified about new content.